I am a we can do it woman. And you women are we can do it women too. Yet, do you know it? I know there's a lot of vernacular around we can do it. And I'm going to define what I think the 5 attributes of my definition of we can do it women is about. I founded the We Can Do It Women movement, and so I am all about us bringing ourselves into a wholeness, a new way of living. And it starts with radical responsibility. Yes, it does. This is essential for us women to take a stand, to stand firmly in our truths. There's no time for misinformation. And in that standing in our truth, we are going to define various areas of our life which heretofore may have held some cloudiness or some lack of information. Finance is chief among them. And yet what happens when we don't know about something? The fear of it, if it evokes fear, and finances typically do evoke fear for some women, expands to an unbelievable level. And some women feel they just can't do it. It's too late. I'm here to say it's not. It's absolutely not. My master's degree is in retirement planning. I attracted people coming into retirement, and believe you me, we made a difference. And I was so excited to be a part of that, to be a channel for that energy, to open up and blossom. We want to discover our past pains around our finances in particular, but not just limited to finances. And we want to seed hope. And that seeding of the hope is probably going to follow us enlightening ourselves and educating ourselves to whatever has heretofore held us back. So we want to be truthfully self-aware. And we want to take our stand for something, not away from something. That is negative energy. I want us to face forward to the fun, the fulfillment, and the rich financial rewards of being a we can do it woman. You know, when we take radical responsibility, it invites choice, and we welcome choice, right? We learn how to hold whatever fears we may still be harboring. And my late friend, Dr. Susan Jeffers, was magnificent in giving us a pain-power continuum in which we can take ourselves from feelings of helplessness, paralysis, over to the power side of the continuum, which gives us the impetus to, in essence, have hope and act. And it's that acting that is going to catapult us into our fullness. We're going to be rooted in unshakable resolve. Yes, we are. And many of us have been doing that all our lives. And yet here we are going to deal with money. I've been dealing with money for 45 years. You can live your life without broccoli or skydiving. You cannot live your life without managing this. And yeah, they're real, and I'm comfortable holding them. And I want you to be comfortable holding your money, physically or rhetorically. Number 2, a we can do it woman expects the unexpected and accepts it. All my career, it was the unexpected that threw people. That's highly emotional. The onset of dementia, the loss of a child. I can plan for age 59 and a half and an IRA and college tuition and retire. Yeah. And yet we put a plan in place to give people a foundation on which they could stand, however wobbly and weak-kneed those emotional upheavals caused them to be. As a certified grief coach, I've dealt with widowed people the world, and there's a very big difference, yes there is, between a widowed person crying out, "What next?" and "What's next?" Let's put apostrophe S on that, because there is a next. Yes, there is. And it's the ability basically for us to move through these unexpected events. Yes, the story is valuable, and then we want to move through the story, not around it, not under it, not over it, through the story to the strategies. When people start recalling memories of the person they've lost, it's a good indicator. They don't need to be in that story. And I want us to move into strategy, because it's the strategy that's going to give us that guide for our next powerful steps. Because time is one of our most valuable assets, time and health. I don't want us to waste either. So why would we waste more time wishing for a better yesterday? So I'll empathically listen to a story, and I will gently move us to strategy. Crisis often defines leaders. And sometimes it's an unlikely person that comes to the stage, right? Comes to the aid. Let's take note of that. We want to be beacons of responsibility and reliability, stability amidst chaos. You see, leaders do not have all of the answers. They have the courage to move forward absent everything being nailed down. A lot of people were upset by the pandemic and upset financially. What to do? What to do? Well, this is what our emergency funds were designed to help us with. And so, okay, no blame, yet face forward. Now I will fund my emergency fund for the next comeuppance. Yes, let's learn from our past. I want us to learn how, and we can do it, women, learn the dance steps of lead and follow. You know, some people said I was a born leader, and you might be born leader, and that's a kind of an interesting axiom. And yet there have been many valuable times in my life when I realized, Debra, you are following now. And one is when I was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and I started the day before with such sickness that everybody else was carb loading, and I was trying to keep the last swallow of water. How would I do this? Could I do this? And I said I can do it under one condition: if I'm right behind the guide, and the second his boot goes up, the toe of my boot goes under where his heel just came up, because I don't have the strength to figure out the path. And it saved me, and I summited Kilimanjaro. Yes, I did. For 2 days, boot, boot, boot. So I want us to assess the situation. If your skill set and your propensities lend themselves towards your leading, by all means, step up and lead proudly. You'll be given the answers. Either from internally, that source internally, or the cohorts around you. And if not, follow. I inherited a lot of do-it-yourselfers. They were leading, and many of them were massively smart, and yet they didn't have the extra knowledge that I had. And I was happy that when they came aboard, heretofore eschewing paying a fee, none of them left. So I was apparently adding some extras around the side that gave them a return that was a multiple of the fee they paid. Little tiny lessons. There's no Olympian athlete that I know of that has gone the route without coaches. The fourth characteristic of a we can do it woman is to have the emotional intelligence. And I think women are hardwired with a lot of emotional intelligence and I think a lot of common sense. And yet I also want to invite us to fulfill the capacity and the wisdom to express our feelings. You know, if I liken this to, oh, I don't want that feeling to come out, so I'm in a swimming pool and I'm keeping that beach ball of feelings down because after all, I don't know what's going to happen when that beach ball comes up and we get distracted and the beach ball pops to the surface. Shocked because we spent a good deal of time, energy, putting that beach ball down, and yet it's the best thing that's happened. Why? When we bring things from the subconscious to the conscious, now we can effectively deal. And so the we can do it woman articulates her emotions. And on the world scale at the beginning of the pandemic, Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand Prime Minister at the time, texted her citizens saying, this is why we're taking the measures and this is how you can help. Lowest mortality rate in 2020. Angela Merkel went on public television. She wasn't one to do that. I think it was 12 years before she had done that. And she said, I want to tell you, citizens, what's guiding me to take these actions. And this is how you and we can help. And finally, step up, step out, and make your difference. We want to seize opportunities and take the initiative. Right when the pandemic hit, I was as confused as anyone, actually offering to do what I could for my older clients. And so I actually went on Facebook Live and I did lives every day, live at 5. Did I know what to say? No. Did I come up with something that at least gave people an anchor into which they can tune in, plug in, and go out more positive? That's my aim, more positive. I didn't have answers, and I'm not sure they were looking for answers. We're looking to do this together because a we can do it woman knows there's a whole lot beyond her. Yes, there is. And she's going to celebrate that. So I want us to think creatively to bring about change to problems. And I don't want us to address any problem or situation in life with less than 3 viable solutions. None less than 3. This or that. You know, how defeatist is that? You didn't even started. This or that or maybe that. Now we can choose. It gives us the capacity and the tools with which we can work. I want us to get our financial life in order, women. It is past time. And I'm not blaming you because the socialization was pretty horrid. And so I want us to move through that and understand now that we want to at least enjoy the standard of living that we have now throughout our retirement. And I want us to fill up our cup in every way, and surely financially. And then when that cup overflows, we give from the saucer. Because if we give from the cup, it will be depleted. And we need to be filled up in every capacity. There's a lot of charity out there that needs our largesse. What's your legacy? I want you to be financially sound and to be able to, for example, match a contribution in your wheelhouse of charities. And that is going to invite other people to give even more. It works, try it. So just to review, what are the 5 qualities that I think are going to help us step more fully into our we can do it women selves? Radical responsibility. Expect and accept the unexpected. Discern when to lead and when to follow. Possess emotional intelligence and capacity to express our feelings. And step up. and then step out and make the lasting difference that you and only you can make. Join me, won't you?